and happy new month. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Mimi. I do general tarot readings for the month ahead over here on this YouTube channel. I do a lot of other stuff over on my Patreon if you're interested, so go check that out, but more on that later. Boo is also here to join us for whatever comes up in these cards today. I'm really excited to see what's in store for August, and I'm keeping a lot of what I did last month because I got a lot of really good feedback that you loved the pendulum swing, that you loved the fortune cards. So those are going to be here for this one as well. Let's get straight to it. I have your piles on the table, so it's time for you to pick which one you want. All right, here are your piles for today. Pile 1, we've got the rosemary sage. That's a soy tin candle, same as the ocean spray for pile 2. And pile 3, lavender. All right, pile 1, you chose this rosemary sage candle. Very, very popular. It's honestly one of my most popular. It's kind of like if lavender and pine had a baby. So it's very calming like lavender, but has that earthiness that rosemary and sage, those herbs, really have. So let's get into the month ahead for you. I'm going to draw 2 cards, one for where you are right now, and then another one for where you'll be at the end of August. So we get some really direct contrast about the beginning and the end of this month for you. So that's what I'm going to start with, and I'm using the Ethereal Visions tarot deck for you today. So where we start, oops, that's too many cards, so let's do that again. Where we're starting, where pile 1 is starting. Ooh, at the 9 of Wands, this is a very defensive card. So we might be feeling really protective, really loyal to ourselves, really committed to our projects, to our passions. Sometimes that means we might be housing a little too much stubbornness. So maybe you are in a point where you need to explore being more receptive to others, being more aware of how your passion is coming across to others. Maybe it's coming across as more of a stubborn or defensive place. So this is where you are right now. That being said, you are carrying a lot. You're doing a lot right now. You have a lot of responsibilities and because of those passions. So maybe right now you're also trying to assess which of these passions is worthy of your energy and where you feel like you're getting reciprocation, where you're getting the same amount of reward as you are putting effort into it. How you'll end August. That one came up right away. King of Swords. So the King of Swords is very aware of his ideas, of his thoughts, of the words that he shares with others, of his vocabulary, of his intentions. And he speaks very intentionally. He knows what he wants and he's not afraid to go after it. So I think that with all of this weight and perhaps like responsibility and burden in a way, you are unsure of how to communicate your needs. But by the end of August, you're going to be very certain of what you need and you'll be able to communicate it to the appropriate parties. So that's a really interesting contrast between the beginning of August and end of August. One is a lot more in the trenches while the other one is more in a leadership role. So that's really fascinating. If throughout the month of August, you want a personal tarot pull, card pull, tarot reading, you should check out my Patreon. I do weekly free readings for my patrons. Well, I guess they're not free because you are paying $10 a month, which is actually not so bad for at least 4 or 5 tarot readings. So that's once a week. I also do numerology readings for you once a month, and I release daily astrological insights. And I have some other cool projects that I'm pretty excited about releasing. So you can go check that out at patreon.com/HarveyMountainAlchemy if you're interested. So that's the beginning and the end of August. Now let's look at the middle of it. First third of August, we had a card fly right out, and this one is specific to this deck. So this is Ethereal Visions by Matt Hughes, and there are 2 extra major arcana in this deck, and you got one of them for the beginning of this month, the Well. I can feel that this first third of August, so from the 1st to the 10th, there's sort of an overwhelm, an overload of sensory issues that you're feeling really overwhelmed by all these external stimuli while also feeling like so much is going on in your inner world. And there's sort of a difficulty balancing those 2 things together and finding inner harmony. I can see that the answers are right there for you. I see there's a pendulum that she's swinging, but she's not looking at the way that it's swinging. So these answers are readily available for you, but you're in a state of denial. So it's really important for you to turn your head to look at this, because the sooner that you kind of pass this phase of denial, the sooner you get get to grow more, the sooner you get to be more aligned with your authentic self, your truest self. Whatever it is that you're looking towards in hopes of denying the truth isn't going to fulfill you. The 2nd, 3rd of August, so from the 11th to the 20th, oh my God. All right, we have got the Page of Cups. This is a time of true reflection, of really looking at your emotional self, your inner world, of reflecting on maybe some of your naivete, your emotional unintelligence, exploring emotions that you didn't realize you have. And also the page is very receptive. So again, we have this receptivity coming to mind that you had with this 9 of Wands. So being more receptive to those around you who might share life experiences that you're having right now and might have insight and wisdom. So release of ego and allowing yourself to be receptive to the advice of your mentors, friends, colleagues, partners, family, whatever. So being really open and allowing your reflection to come through in an honest way, rather than, again, looking in the mirror and telling you you're something you're not, and that could also be a negative self-talk. So being really aware of how you view yourself, being really aware of the disconnect between how you view yourself and who you really are. The 2nd, 3rd of August, and I do have some cards that flew, so I'm going to put those back in the deck. 2nd, 3rd of August, so this is the last section from August 21st to August 30th. We have got the Fool. Look at that. So we did all of this reflection, kind of the surrender of ego, release, and allowance of others to influence us or to give us insight on ourselves. And then we step into the Fool. And of course, after the Fool comes this last phase, the King of Swords, which is your ending point in August. So this last 3rd of August is one where you really take a leap of faith, where you have to trust that where you're going is the right direction. And truly, you're on the start. You're like starting something new. You're really beginning a new phase of your life. It's so powerful. And it's not only scary, but it's so exciting because it means that you're stepping into a higher level of consciousness of self, and also of getting to live with more joy and authenticity. And this is happening right after Leo season, where we're really exploring and reflecting on what is authentically you. And so here we can actually not only explore, but truly leap into being that version of you right now. Not to mention that Mercury will be going retrograde from Virgo into Leo throughout this month, and then it'll be going direct and it'll be in the shadow period. So we really are being asked to reflect on how we express ourselves, on how we make other people feel warm and loved and radiated on, right? Like how we shine light on others and shine light on ourselves. It's about taking up space in a way that is conscious and authentic. So that's what this month in August is offering to you. I'm going to pull some cards from these tea leaf fortune cards, and I'm actually just going to split the deck, so it'll be on the table. You can't quite see, but we have got hammock, taking a vacation physically or mentally. This could be really good if you need to escape. Just make sure that the escape is not a way for you to hide from the truth, right? We're not trying to fall into a deeper denial. Let's see what else we got. Feather, someone you know is undependable and insincere. Interesting. So again, this sort of points to the middle of August. I think that's going to come up for you in the middle of August. So maybe some insincerity, some inauthenticity in a friendship or in a partnership. And let's see, last one. Ooh, this one. Two fell out. So we've got mice, discord among friends or family. So that kind of speaks to this insincerity. And then the frying pan, trouble, accusations. Wow, fascinating. So it does seem like the second, like the last 2/3 of August seem to be a little bit more discord. Like there's a little bit of tension and miscommunication or lack of communication, especially with that Mercury retrograde going direct, all of that sort of getting lost in the sauce. So be careful of the way that you communicate, but be very intentional about expressing yourself, about sharing your thoughts, your feelings, because sometimes when you hold them in your inner world, that's a way of refusing to look at them and to explore them and to actually know what's going on an emotional level. All right, let's do your pendulum swing. So ask a question if you have one, just a yes or no question. And that's a yes. Alrighty, so just a reminder, go check out my Patreon. That's patreon.com/HarveyMountainAlchemy. I give you tarot readings once a week. Every Wednesday, I release a post and you share either a question or your most recently used emoji, and I share what the cards are saying, and I connect to your guides directly. So it's much more personal rather than these general tarot readings. That being said, I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it was very insightful and that it resonates with you. And I'm sending you a lot of love. See you next time. Bye. Hello, pile 2. You chose this ocean spray candle. This is a 5-ounce tin candle available on my website, just $10. This is a really nice smell, super deodorizing, really neutralizes any strong scents that you might have in your home. And it just reminds me of home because I grew up by the ocean. So, oh, so nice. Alrighty, so let's get into your reading. Something new I'm going to be doing this week is I'm going to pull one card for where you are right now, and then one card for where you'll be at the end of August. So it's kind of a bookend. We're going to see the contrast between beginning of the month and end of the month. And for you today, I am using the Muse Tarot by Chris Ann. Absolutely love all of her artwork. She's divine. So where you are beginning of this month, where you are right now, here it is. We've got the Hierophant. Wow. So that's a major arcana. You may be going through a major growth phase, a major learning phase. Maybe you're exploring any sort of education opportunities or learning opportunities if it's not in a more structured educational sense. But it seems as though you're seeking a mentor or you're seeking some guidance that's bigger than you, almost as though you're seeking permission to live your life from a higher power. Now, that can be extremely empowering to fall into a trust to the divine, but it can also mean that you're not trusting yourself. So maybe this growth phase is about self-trust and about knowing that you do have the wisdom within you to have the answers. It's just a matter of knowing the right questions to ask. However, I do see that this is a time where you can humble yourself and admit that you do need to ask a question, that you need an answer from an outside source. And there's such an openness and a receptivity, which is funny because that came up for first pile as well. There's such a receptivity to the answers from a divine source. Let's see where you'll be at the end of August in comparison to this Hierophant. They're all just kind of spilling out. They don't want to come out. All right, let's see. Here we go. I felt that one. 4 of Materials, which in traditional tarot language is the 4 of Pentacles. Wow, so where you'll be at the end of this month is knowing what is most important to you, knowing your priorities and your values, holding them very true to you. However, it might mean that you're also hoarding or being a little stubborn about those values, or being very stubborn about you have to be right. So you might be in the middle of a tiff at the end of this month, fighting so hard to prove that you're right, that you know everything, that you know what's right. So remember to keep this message of openness to others, openness to the answers from a divine source or just from an outside source, because I could see that you might be a little bit stubborn by the end of the month. However, you will know what is most important to you, which is very good. It's just about finding the balance of knowing that what's important to you doesn't always have to be important to others as well. And that doesn't mean you have to keep people in your life who share very opposing values, but it does mean that you have to accept it and move on with a confidence in living in alignment with your values, if that makes sense. All right, so now that we've seen the contrast between the beginning and end of August, I'm going to pull cards for each third of August. So from August 1st to August 10th, the card came right out. We've got the Page of Voices. So this really reiterates the curiosity and openness that the Hierophant kind of themes are. So that means that really like taking a course in something, if you've been interested in that, or exploring, a new topic, really learning and diving into something with a curiosity and an openness and no big agenda. If you are very interested in a course and you have the means to take that course, take it without high stakes or high pressure on yourself to make something of yourself through this course. Don't try and prove yourself through your efforts to learn. Instead, humble yourself and accept new knowledge. That could be really, really helpful for the beginning of August. I also see that your mind will be quite busy for the beginning of August. feeling a little frazzled, uncertain. And so to set aside time to really focus, to remove distraction, I think this would be a good one to detox from your phone if you're able to let go of social media or any sort of distractions that are truly just fogging up your mind rather than enhancing your acuity and enhancing that intelligence and curiosity that you're supposed to be exploring right now. So instead of, numbing yourself or distracting yourself through very overstimulating sources like a phone or any sort of screen, if you're like me, maybe try and gain that same sort of stimulation through physical movement, letting your mind explore what's going on, or letting your mind quiet a little bit by physical exertion, whether that means dancing or sports or whatever it is that you are able to do. That I think would be really good for you in the beginning of August. All right, the second third of August, so from the 11th to the 20th, you got 2 cards, and usually I am a little strict, but these guys came out pretty strong. So you've got the Page of Cups, or the Page of Emotions in this deck, and the Wheel. Wow, this is very strong in that you do not have control over the matters of your heart, but you do have control over the actions that you take in regards to those heart matters. So you might know exactly what it is your heart wants, and it might not be what you want your heart to want. However, you do have to accept and surrender to the next steps of this phase in your life. That means that maybe you aren't very passionate about your career and you've been trying to hide from that for some time. It's time to, instead of spending so much energy and draining yourself trying to convince yourself that you are passionate about your current career, instead of spending all that time, you could go through the path of least resistance and explore a new path, explore a new career. And this could be for any sort of circumstance. It could be career, it could be family oriented, it could be your relationship, it could be your passions, your hobbies. Not judging or shaming yourself for the emotions that you're having, because the emotions you cannot control, but you can control the steps that you take after accepting those emotions. So I see that maybe you have been lacking clarity, or your mind has been really frazzled and you haven't been able to gain a focus or an intent behind all of the sort of stimulation that's going on within your mind and your body. And so this middle part of August, which we're still in Leo season, and Mercury is, going through this retrograde and then going direct. So we're going to be feeling a lot of need for mental reflection, a really strong inner monologue of constantly questioning your experiences and questioning if what you're doing is truly filling up your heart space, because it is in the sign of Leo. If you have questions about that, please go check out my Patreon. I release astrological insights on the daily, and I'll definitely be discussing Mercury retrograde in the sign of Leo. However, this middle point of Leo, trusting that the actions that you take are going to work in your favor, that you are divinely taken care of, you are divinely protected. And right now, the phase you're in is simply that. It's just a phase, and you have to keep walking the walk instead of rooting yourself in this phase of the cycle. You have to continue the cyclical nature, and that means taking action. All right, this last third of August, I think that's a huge lesson too, which goes back to the Hierophant. All right, the last third of August, you got the 7 of Emotions, or the 7 of Cups. This feels like a really strong sense of indecision. So it kind of feels like the next steps, something is going to confront you about needing to take next steps, and there is a resistance to that. And near the end of the month, you are recognizing that you have options, maybe being a little indecisive about which option you want, but this is a slow process for you. You need to assess what your options are, and accept that you do have other options. You're not stuck anywhere. You're not trapped anywhere. You're the one in control of the story of your life. So you have to reflect, truly deeply reflect on what it is you want your life to look like in this regard, whatever it is, if it's work or friendship, relationship, passions, hobbies, whatever it is. You have to be the one who recognizes that maybe you're not fully fulfilled and that you have to seek fulfillment elsewhere. So that's what the last third of August is showing. I'm going to pull some cards from the Tea Leaf Fortune cards, starting with this one, which is November, which means that whatever it is that's showing up for you this month in August will also be showing up in November, dealing with themes, similar themes between the 2 months. Let's see what else. We've got grapes. Time to go out and have fun. Yes, that's what I was seeing with this page of voices. I was definitely seeing that it's time for you to dance, to move your body freely and without inhibition, so that you can just like quiet your mind. Your mind is just going too many miles a minute. And then last tea leaf card, we've got the Axe, forces working against you. And I actually think these forces are coming from within your mind. So dealing with the gremlins that are telling you you can't do something or you should do this when actually you want to do that. So really battling with an axe the gremlins in your mind. All right. Lastly, I'm going to do a pendulum swing. So ask a yes or no question now if you have one. And that would be a no. So I'm sending you a lot of love. I hope this was helpful. Let me know what resonated with you in the comments. Make sure that you like and subscribe this video and go check out my Patreon. Again, that's patreon.com/HarveyMountainAlchemy. You can sign up for a free trial, so you don't even have to pay for anything, and you will get a reading at some point in the next week. So yeah, sending you a lot of love, and I'll see you next time. Bye. All right, pile 3, you chose a classic lavender scent. I don't think I even have to describe this. It's just a perfect pure lavender. This tin is 5 ounces and it's only $10 over on my website. That's HarveyMountainAlchemy.com if you want to check it out. I make lots of candles. These are what I call my muggle candles because they're the only ones that don't get shoved with crystals anywhere I can shove them. But all my other candles do have crystals on them. So if you're into that, go check that out, HarveyMountainAlchemy.com. We are going to do something a little bit different this month. Instead of just going straight into the thirds of the month, which you might be used to by now, I'm going to pull a card for where you are right now and then where you're going to be by the end of this month too. So we kind of get the bookends of the contrast between the beginning and the end of the month where you're going to be. So starting out with the beginning of August, aka where we are right now, we've got this Queen of Pentacles. We're really seeking a security, whether that means within yourself or externally. There's just a need to feel safe, secure, and to slow things down. I think you recognize how positive slowing down can be as an experience for you. And that's what you really want right now. Maybe the circumstances in your life aren't allowing you to slow down as much as you want, or maybe things are going really slow and you're trying to resist it. But either way, I think that being slow, slowing down, and appreciating every moment in all its languid slowness, that's really where you're meant to be right now. So either stop resisting it or just enjoy it. Where you're going to be at the end of this month, so at the end of August. Yeah, connecting with nature right now is super important for you. Okay. We have got the 8 of Pentacles. Lovely. So honestly, throughout this month, this seems like a very work-oriented month or very value-based month where it's really important for you to recognize what makes you feel aligned with your values and your morals. And I think that also this is just one of those really hard-working months where you are hustling, you're putting effort in, you're creating kind of this legacy or this empire, whether it's on a small scale or a large one. By the end of the month, you will be working hard. So maybe that's why it's a good idea for you to slow down right now so that you can actually enjoy that quiet time. Because by the end of the month, you're going to be hustling. You are going to be busy. All right, so before we get into the month of August, as we do in the thirds, please go make sure that you check out my Patreon. That's patreon.com/HarveyMountainAlchemy. You can sign up for a free trial, and you also get weekly tarot pulls specifically for you. So they are personal readings just for you, as opposed to these general tarot readings where some stuff might resonate and some stuff might not. I am pulling cards specifically for you in connection with your spirit guides. So I do that, and I also release astrological insights on the daily, and I do monthly numerology readings for each one of you as well. So really, please just go check it out. You can sign up for the free trial again, so you also get a free reading, and then you can, sign off if that's what you want to do, but I hope you stick around. All right, so let's get into the month of August, starting with this first third of August, from the 1st to the 10th. Here we are. Ooh, we've got the Ace of Swords. It seems as though you have just come off an ending and you're kind of in this transition point where something new is beginning, especially a new mental pursuit or a new relationship, a new connection to somebody else, or a connection to your own mind, your intelligence. Maybe you're starting a new class or course or something, but you truly do not have to look back anymore. It is about looking forward and knowing that you are going to experience a new venture. You're going on a new adventure. This almost gives me, like, if you know tarot well, it's like going from the Ten of Swords to the Fool, where we have killed that project. We have killed that pursuit. We are done with that phase, and we are moving forward with a sense of trust. But because this is swords, also with a sense of knowledge and an intelligence and intellectualness to your pursuit. So quieting the mind, I think, is going to be really helpful for you, because there's going to be a moment of clarity in the beginning of this month. The 2nd, 3rd of August, so from the 11th to the 20th, we have got a card that jumped right out. The Wheel of Fortune. Hey, that's the same as pile 2. They also had the Wheel of Fortune in their second section of August. So this, again, I feel like the theme of trust is so important. And I think just looking at the contrast between the beginning and the end, like your bookend cards, there seems to be almost a fear of slowness because it's coming from maybe a lack mentality, maybe funds or finances are a little tight right now, or a little bit afraid, or really feeding that lack mentality. There needs to be a strong urge of trust from you that you are protected, that you are going to be taken care of, and that soon you're going to have plenty of work to support you. So this moment of silence, you truly need to appreciate it, because in the future you are going to be much more busy. You're not going to be able to be so free in your slowness. So the 2nd, 3rd of August, maybe there's an opportunity that you need to just sign up for. If there's a job interview or something that you feel like you're not going to get, go for it anyway. Really do explore your options. Apply for things that you're underqualified for, because you never know who else is also thinking that way and not applying. And so you need to apply. You need to apply yourself and open yourself up to opportunities that maybe you are shaming yourself or feeling like you are not worthy of. You need to get rid of that mentality and that whole narrative in your mind. We're here for clarity, for focus, and for newness. We're not taking on any of these mental spirals that we've held on to for so long, that we've let go of. We're moving forward with a sense of confidence, clarity, intellect, and trust. This last 3rd of August, so from the 21st onwards, let's see. There we are. The Knight of Wands. I love that. We are in pursuit of our passion. We are guiding ourselves. There is a strong sense of direction, of passion, of excitement. There's adventure that awaits, and also an element of trust, because this is a Sagittarius card. There's a knowledge and an optimism that things will work out. So really, this month is about testing your potential negativity or pessimism, and trusting that you are taken care of, and that you will be cared for, that you will be protected and abundant, and that things will work out for you, because a lot of this stuff does start in the mind, law of attraction and all that. So taking real, like, letting caution be gone, not focusing on making sure you have enough nuts stored away for winter. The nuts will find you, okay? If you want to take anything away from today's reading, it's that the nuts will find you. My God. Anyway, abundance will find you, and you need to trust that. You need to believe in that, because by the time that you do finally step into that confidence, that's when the abundance will find you. When you're not seeking clarity, security, abundance with a desperate tone, that's when those things are going to come to you. All right, so let's pull some cards from my Tea Leaf Fortune deck. I love these guys. And so we usually do about 3. Here we are. We've got Shield. You need to defend yourself. And actually, I think you need to defend yourself against yourself. That mental narrative that's trying to keep you down, and I feel like someone thinks it's keeping them grounded. You need to let go of that. It's time to get a little ungrounded. Let's see. Next up, Teardrops. Great personal sorrow. I'm sorry for that. Next one. Rose, romance is in the air. Ooh, so that comes back to the passion and also the values, right? Relationships are built on shared values, shared morals and ethics. So this is really lovely. Getting in touch with your values and also trying not to rush a relationships process, letting the relationship be at the, or go at the pace that it's meant to. All right, so lastly, ask a yes or no question because I'm going to swing the pendulum. And that's a no. All right, pile 3, I hope that was helpful. I'm sending you so much love. Let me know what resonated in the comments. Let me know what you're excited for this month, what you're looking forward to. And of course, please go check out my Patreon. That's patreon.com/HarveyMountainAlchemy. And I'm sending you a lot of love. I'll see you next time. Bye.